have been talking with Bobbie Brown, physician recruiter for the hospital, and talking about the Kerr Scholarship and all of the wonderful 14 different students
yes.
right now. But Bobbie, during the break we were talking a little bit about what a physician recruiter, we've talked before on the show about what you do, but how do you know where to go? What you're out and about, I know, traveling a great deal. So
yes.
share some of that with us.
Sure. You know, we use a lot of different resources to find physicians to consider to come to our community, including travel. And I travel to a lot of career fairs that are centered in areas where there are large training institutions. For example, last week I was in St. Louis, and there are several residency programs and hospitals in that area, and there were many residents and fellows who came to the career fair from all different subspecialties. So it was a great opportunity to get to talk with them and meet them and interact with them about what our opportunities are here in our community, what they're looking for, and just kind of see how well we could match those up.
And I think a lot of the matches, we've talked about this before as well, and that is a lot of the younger physicians really do want to have more of a 9-to-5 job. And I mean that in the kindest way, because they want to spend more time with their families.
Quality of life.
And absolute quality of life, and the days of the physician that was gone, from his family, middle of the night and everything else. Those days are starting to slip away.
They are to some extent, and there are certainly, those folks that still do that quite a bit, depending on which specialty they're in. At our hospital, we have done a lot to help with that. Number one, with having a hospitalist program, and hospitalists are those physicians that see patients in the hospital, and that allows the clinic physicians, those who are based mostly in the clinic, to continue to see their patients without interruption throughout the day. And then, like in our ICU, we have an 18-bed ICU that is an electronic ICU, and we are tied through telemedicine, which is such an exciting new field, to a group of intensivists. All they do is look after intensive care patients, and they're located in another state, and through the monitors that we have in our ICU rooms, they're able to talk to the patients, talk to the
attending physician,
the nurses, everyone, the respiratory folks, everyone who's there, and the technology that allows that communication is just amazing. So that has helped tremendously with the overnight call for our own physicians and nursing staff and all.
The medical field, it almost seems to me, it has filled in the gaps that who had heard of hospitalists that many years ago? Who had heard of intensivists?
Exactly.
And these are specialized fields.
Very specialized.
And with the telemedicine, that just amazes me.
Yes.
The doorbell rings and
that's right.
the person on the screen comes into the room. And I always like to point out, too, when we talk about this, especially with our intensive care unit, this is in addition to an already wonderful staff that is there. One of the things that is marvelous about this new medicine is that it's not only a safety net, but it tracks trends. With the patient all hooked up, and the folks right at the hospital are reading all the information, but the intensivists are watching it as well, and they may actually see a difference in temperature suddenly starts to follow a pattern, blood pressure, and I'm not a clinician, but all these other things may start following a trend or a pattern, that they'll make recommendations to either the nursing staff, or they'll have the nursing staff contact the attending physician and say, okay, I think we are looking at this. So it's, what a safety net.
Oh, absolutely. And it so enhances the quality of care that we have.
It certainly does. It certainly does. So where are you going to be heading next?
Actually, I'm going to Columbia, Missouri. Next week.
Okay.
Yes.
Out and about.
Yes.
And they're not on spring break. Okay.
They are not on spring break.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's
all
right.
the other kids are, but they medical students don't get to do that right away.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And I go to a number of different locations. Memphis, Little Rock, of course, Oklahoma City. What else is scheduled this year? Nashville, Memphis, Birmingham, Alabama, and there are some others on my schedule. But I, just look for those that have the medical centers with a lot of folks in training that we can talk to and make those connections with. In addition to that, we do network a lot through internet job boards and internet databases, and a lot of outreach to residency program directors just to let them know what our availabilities are. We have done again taken advantage of technology and done Skype type interviews with physicians if we're not able to have them visit, if it's not a convenient time. So we just use a lot of different resources to get to physicians.
And I know, because we live in such a beautiful area, that you certainly are enticing a lot. I see the new folks coming through the office that are sort of checking us out. And they're always amazed, aren't they?
They are.
At our technology.
They are. They absolutely are. I think every single time we have someone come to visit, they're always saying it's more than I expected.
I think when they hear the word rural,
yes, exactly.
But with anything, that there's sort of an expectation there, or lack thereof.
Yes.
I'm not sure, but it's like, no, we have more technology probably in our hospital than I know there are many big cities that are very envious.
Exactly, you're right.
Of what we have. We've got the 3D tomosynthesis, we've got 2 Da Vinci.
The 3T MRI in itself is amazing.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, and our new breast imaging center and our mobile mammography unit, which is still, we know that a couple are being created even as we speak, but we were the very first mobile mammography unit out there that had the 3D tomosynthesis, which that was just unheard of.
On a mobile unit. I'm so proud of that.
It went everywhere.
Yes, exactly. So. And even our website is so advanced. I was talking to a physician over the weekend, and he said, well, before we were talking, I went online and looked at your website, and he said, I have to tell you, this just made me think these folks look like they've got it together. They know what they're doing. Yay. So it was very impressive. Yes.
That's always our intent.
Exactly.
So the website is all brand new, so go check us out.
It's awesome. It is absolutely awesome. It's so interactive, and just a great job done with that for your
Good to
team.
hear from the physicians, too.
Yes.
Especially because of the age group that you're dealing with.
Yes.
Okay, they are so savvy.
Exactly.
I don't know that anyone would know how to chart on a regular, they're all used to the computer.
That's right. Yeah. Electronic medical records, they sure are.
They do all of it electronically, so which is wonderful.
It is. It is.
Once again, so much of this technology creates such terrific safety nets. The machines almost will not let you make a mistake. You can't go from point A to C if you haven't done B.
Exactly.
So it's just a wonderful.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And I am so proud of the way that our leadership has just embraced technology for our hospital and just the type of patient care we're able to give.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. There's always been a lot of good foundation building.
Absolutely.
And then taking that foundation and building upon it and building upon it. Because the foresight, looking way down into the future, has seen what is coming.
Exactly.
So you are absolutely correct. We are very blessed with our senior leadership team and all that they do for the hospital each and every day.
Our board members,
yes,
unbelievable.
You bet. You bet. Yeah, don't leave the board members out. They do an awesome job.
They do. They are just so dedicated.
They are. And then they're dedicating their time.
Yes.
But we talk on this show every time about how generous the community is, how giving the community is. And this is one way that the hospital can give back.
Exactly.
By being the best of the best of the best. Making sure that it's the best care we can give just absolute excellent care for every patient every time.
Exactly.
That's always our goal. So we want to keep doing that, and it is fascinating. As you and I were talking during the break, there is so much going on in healthcare right now. It certainly isn't static. I mean, it's
true.
Leaps and bounds, and none of us know exactly where we're going. We're all kind of tracking new snow, but it's okay. It's new snow, and once again, I think that as in the past, whatever we need for healthcare will be created in some way, shape, or form.
Exactly.
So that's all right. Well, Bobbie, I want to thank you for being on the show today.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Wonderful. Anything else you want to talk to us about? I'd like to be sure that people understand how to apply for the Kerr Scholarship.
That's right. If you have any family member or know anyone in the community who has recently been accepted to medical school or is in medical school, please direct them to the website baxterregional.org and have them to fill out the application for the Kerr Medical Student Scholarship.
Great, and they've only got until June 15th?
June 15th, yes.
Okay. So don't forget the deadline.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us today for BRMC's Healthy Connections. As always, it's been a pleasure to bring BRMC and everything that's going on there into your home. We'll see you again next week.